Instead of peace, instead of us getting a ceasefire from the Russians, what is Trump focused on? Trump escalates trade war with sweeping global tariffs. The EU got a 20% tariff, 24% for Japan, 34% on goods from China. This was a surreal moment to watch. So watch the clip and see this elderly senile man holding up a big chart of made-up numbers. Completely made-up numbers. Everything that Trump said in this press conference was a lie. So let's start. And Trump says he's announcing reciprocal tariffs because all of these other countries are so unfair to the United States. We're going to announce equal or greater reciprocal tariffs to match what these countries are doing to the United States. So China gets 34%, Vietnam 46%. The good news is the United States just recognized Taiwan as its own country, 32% tariffs, 24% on Japan, 26% on India, 25% on South Korea. And when we got the list from the White House, people thought things were pretty strange. First thing, the list wasn't in alphabetical order. The list wasn't in, order as, volume of trade or size. Like, the list made no sense. And people were staring at some of these tariffs, such as the British Indian Ocean Territory. And this is referring to the U.S. naval base in Diego Garcia. This is it's an atoll. It's like a volcanic submerged island in the middle of the Indian Ocean. This is in the middle of nowhere. This is a U.S. naval base. And Donald Trump just put 10% tariffs on a U.S. military base. The other one that got widespread attention, trade war with penguins. Trump places 10% tariff on uninhabited Antarctic islands. This is the Heard and McDonald Islands. They got a 10% tariff. And nobody lives on this island. This is an uninhabited island where the only residents are penguins. And it's, I guess, controlled by Australia, but it's in the middle of nowhere. And they got a 10% tariff. So people were asking questions, who made this list? Where did this list of countries come from? And people are backwards engineering the formula, and they're figuring it out that the tariffs are not broken down by country. They're broken down by top-level internet domain. It's why islands that are populated entirely by penguins, the .hm domain, and why Diego Garcia .io are listed. Also why Reunion and Gibraltar are listed separately from France and the UK when France and the UK control these territories. The Trump administration used ChatGPT to generate this list. They literally went to a large language model, ChatGPT, and said, how to place tariffs on the entire world. And they just copy and pasted it from ChatGPT, meaning no economists looked at this list. No experts, no business leaders, nobody with a clue what they're doing actually looked at this list of tariffs before Trump signed it. And this is going to be shocker, guys. Trump is lying. So what is the actual tariff rates on average of Chinese imports from America? And it's 7.5. And Trump just put 67% tariffs on China. What's the actual rate from the European Union? Factor in all the different tariffs of American imports to the EU. The effective rate is 5.2%, and Trump just put 39% tariffs on the EU. The same is true for all of these countries. How is this possible? And the White House is so stupid, they released their formula how they came up with these percentages. And this has nothing to do with tariffs. They're not applying reciprocal tariffs on countries that have tariffs on the United States. They're using trade imbalances. So the trade deficit with China is $291 billion. and they divided that by imports from China, 433